There's a look at a Category 3 hurricane, winds at 125 miles an hour, 5 more miles an hour, and this will be a Category 4 storm. It may just do it. It has a small window of about 3 to 4 hours before it makes landfall in the Big Bend area, and it's really got its act together today, strengthening from a Category 1 to now a powerful Category 3 major hurricane. A well-defined, very symmetrical in shape, a good outflow in almost all quadrants. A little bit of wind shear on the western side of this, but that's not really a concern. The water temperatures are sky high. That's a fuel for this, and so it has a window here where it could briefly become a Category 4 before landfall. Here's the radar showing a well-defined eye, and the eye wall really starting to get well protected, even on the western side of this, and the outer bands which stretch out. Well, put the ruler on it. 273 miles from the center. We've seen tropical storm force winds out almost 300 miles from the center of this storm. Almost unheard of. That just shows you how large it is and how powerful this storm will be at landfall later tonight. It tracks up through Kentucky and Tennessee and eventually fizzles out after that. It just gets rained out on the weekend. Here are current wind gusts. We're running about 30 to 40, almost 50 miles an hour on the west coast, 50 to 60. These numbers will climb, especially as the storm approaches land. Hurricane warning showing up in red, tropical storm warning for the rest of the state. That's how large this thing is, and those warnings will likely be dropped as we get into the overnight and tomorrow, because this wind field will push north, should be out of our area before sunrise tomorrow, and then it lifts north into Georgia and the Carolinas after that. The Vipercast model keeping the storm with a track that brings it into the Big Bend and then eventually well to the north of us. And there's a look at the current radar. Big showers and storms touching along coastal Palm Beach County, not so much on the Treasure Coast yet, but this rainfall that is working into Palm Beach County, through Palm Beach County, it packs a punch. So be careful if you're out tonight. You may see some flooded roads and big wind gusts. And let's bring in James, because you've got kind of the rundown of the wind gusts that we've seen during the day, James, which have been significant in spots.
Yeah, they really have. We've been digging through the data here and looking at all the observations across our area. Most of these came with that rain band that was here in the morning. And you see 67-mile-per-hour wind gusts at the Juno Beach Pier. Lake Worth Pier, the highest one, 52 miles per hour, and 57 at Mangonia Park. Vero was almost 60. Fort Lauderdale, 64-mile-per-hour wind gusts there. And that was at that morning band moved on through. And we had another one around lunchtime or so. Now, what can we expect in the future? Let's draw it ahead here, and it's still going to be pretty strong for the next several hours. After we get into the overnights, the wind starts to drop a little bit here, especially getting into those late night hours and into tomorrow. So tomorrow we're looking at those winds dropping from, say, the 40s down to the 20s, and then as we get into, say, Friday night, it's still a little bit breezy, but more like 15 to 20 instead of the 40 that we saw. Watch what happens, though. The storm pulls away and weakens as it moves off, and by Sunday, we calm the wind down altogether, and we go back to our normal summer-like pattern.